Students, in the very last lecture we have seen the exercise 14.1. Then we have seen how to distribute the data according to the group frequency distribution table and ungrouped frequency distribution table. Then we have seen for some of the very less observation we can prefer ungrouped frequency distribution, and for grouped frequency distribution we have seen the telemarks. Now in this video we are going to see somewhat ahead. Now in this video we are going to see the measure of central tendency, classification, mean and mean of discrete frequency distribution. So in this, very first thing which we are going to say is about measure of central tendency. So question arises, what is measure of central tendency? So measure of central tendency is nothing but a characteristic which shows the whole observation and the representation of this observation. So I can say that the measure of central tendency is the number which is the sum of the numbers which shows the characteristic of the whole data, and it shows the representation of this observation. So this is the central tendency that is further been classified into three. That is, so we have seen what is the definition of central tendency. Now we are going to see the classification of central tendency. That is, measure of central tendency. In this very important thing we are going to see, it is been classified into three. One is mean, moving ahead, that is median, and the last is mode. So if we see the classification of measure central tendency, it is in three: mean, median and mode. And if you see, mean is also known as average. So we can call mean also and we can call average. Both are the same. So in this lecture we are going to see in detail about mean. So we will see what is mean, the definition of the mean, the formula to find this mean, and we will see more in detail about the discrete frequency distribution and its properties. So students, first moving forward, that what is mean. So first understand the concept of mean. Mean is nothing but the sum of the observation. Sum means the total of the observation which has been divided by the number of observation. I am repeating, mean is the sum of the observation which has been divided by the number of the observation. That is nothing but known as. So students, we have seen what is mean. Now how we can symbolize this mean? How we can give this formula about the mean? So let's see. Suppose I am writing over mean. I can symbolize mean as x bar. So whenever you write the formula, you are able to symbolize mean as x bar. Now let me the observation. Observation will be x. So let us assume that let the observation is x1, x2, x3 up to I can say it is about xn. So let these observation be up till xn. So I have mean x bar, observation is x1, x2, x3, x1 up to t. Let's infinite, so that is an xn. What as many number of observation. And the total number of observation, the total number of observation is shown as small n. So mean is x bar, bar, observation is x1, x2 up to xn, and the total number of observation is n. Now we need to represent this concept of mean or of this concept of average in any formula. How we are able to write? So as we know, it is x bar. Clear? Now I am writing x bar is nothing but equals to x1 plus x2 plus x is the sum of all of this observation, and I go up till x, and because here I don't know exact, I am just writing this way. It is x1, x2, x3 up till xn. Now I am dividing whole of this by n. So now remind the mean, the definition of mean. Mean is nothing but the summation, the sum of the observation, and it is divided by n. So n is the total number of observation. This is how we can formalize mean. But this is very long way. If we need to write in symbolized way, we can use as this. And we are very well known with this symbol. This is nothing but summation or sigma. We normally know this as sigma, but we can take this over here as summation. What is the summation? I am writing over here the C. So I am writing this. How can we get this C? Again this sigma. This sigma is the Greek word which we know as sigma, but basically we can say this as summation. So we can write this as summation of summation of I varies with xi, where I is equals to 1. That is summation of xi, that is varies to I, where I is 1. And 1 where 1 is equal to n. It is this, and dividing whole of this dividing by n. So if I write all of this thing in very short form as this, so give x1 plus x2 plus xn up till xn. I can write this in very short as summation of xi varies to I, where I is 1, where I is nothing but equal to, sorry, 1 is nothing but equal to, and here I am dividing whole of this summation with n, this total number of observation. This is how students I can represent in very symbolized way the formula of mean. Right? This is how I can symbolize the formula of mean. Now students, if there is very few observation, then we can prefer the average or the mean. But students, just suppose if the number of observations are more, in that case we can prefer assume mean in case of mean. So we'll see how assume mean is different from mean. Let's see. So first we'll see what will be the formula of assume mean. So students, as we have seen the formula of assume, that is A plus summation of di, where I di varies to I, where I is nothing but 1, I is equal to n, and whole dividing by n, that is assuming. Now we are going to see that what is the A, what is di, what is n, what is I. So we can say that A is nothing but assume mean. Now if we talk about di, then the formula for di is xi minus A. So we will see in example students very well that when we will find able to find assume mean A, then we will able to find di, which is nothing but xi minus A. Now question comes, what is I and n? Then I can say that I and n are total number of observations. So I can say I and n are nothing but total number of observations. So with this we have seen the formula of mean, that is A is assume mean, di is equal to xi minus A, and I and n are total number of observations. This is how, if there is very few observation, in that case you can use average or mean formula. If there is large number of observation, in that case we need to use which this is that the formula is as written over here. So students, in this video we have seen till now we have seen about central tendency, classification and mean. So students, so we have seen assuming, mean. Now we are going to see about the mean of discrete frequency distribution. Now you have came across the word discrete. We have seen discrete frequency distribution or non-overlapping frequency distribution, which we saw about class from 15 to 20, 21 to 25. There is no non-overlapping. So now we are going to see the mean discrete frequency distribution. For that, let us assume the score, that is x1, x2, x3 up to I can tell as x. Okay, this will be the frequency, this will be the score. Now if you see students, whenever there is class, there is frequency. So basically frequency will be f1, f2, f3 up till fk. So this will be the score, this will be the frequency. Now we are assuming this for the pretending the formula. So if we see this formula, how can write this formula? As before, x bar, as you know, x bar is nothing but mean. We can write this as summation of k where I equals to n, and over here we can write as fi xi whole summation of fi. So students, this is how we can write. This is how. So this is where we can write the formula. Or if you can write this, see one more thing. The summation of k that I equal to n, that is of fi, is nothing but equals to n. This is also we can write as equal to n. So in place of this term, I can simply write n. So now the another way of writing this formula is summation of k fi xi I equals to n whole upon n. This is how we can write the formula of mean discrete frequency distribution. Right? Now we'll see what is fi, what is xi, what is n. So we can say fi xi is the ith observation and the frequency corresponding. Okay, so you can say fi xi is the ith observation and the frequency corresponding. Now to see about n, then n is the total number of observation as before as in mean. Same in this, we can assume this as total number of observation. Same as fi is nothing but the summation. This is fi is nothing but equal to I, and both are nothing but total number of observation. Now this is for ungrouped, for discrete, for continuous frequency distribution also we can apply the same formula, but there one thing changes, that is the xi. The term xi will represent the I of class mark. I of class mark. And what is class mark? That we have seen very last video we have seen what is class mark, right? So this is what in this video we have seen about the measurement of central frequency, central tendency, the definition of this. Then we have seen the classification, that is mean, median, mode. In that specifically we have seen about the mean, what is mean, what are the formula for the mean, what will be the assumed mean, and then the very last thing which we have seen about mean frequency distribution. for this video is you need to note down the formula for mean, assuming for discrete frequency distribution and also for continuous frequency distribution. So students, this is all for the video. See you in the next video.